Okay, so we're going to talk about wrapping up your social and skills you need to have in order to seal the deal, get orders in, and hopefully meet your next consultant. So, sorry, my phone's kind of turning on me a little bit, so I might have to straighten it out once in a while. Okay, so you have worked hard at forming relationships at your social. This is something that takes work and skill. For the first year that I ran my business 9.5 years ago, I would set my product up. I would have everybody come in. I did a great job of giving them like a lookbook and saying hello, but then I didn't know what to do, so I kind of just stood off to the side. That did not work very well. So I did not really grow my team that first year. I wasn't talking to anybody. I was scared. I was a little nervous. So I just kind of stood over in the corner. I learned that that doesn't work. And so now I want you to, before you start doing that, realize you can't do that. So now you need to become a friend. You need to be there just like somebody who has been invited to the social. So when people are coming in, it's your job to become friends. Have questions ready to go. How do you know so-and-so, the hostess? Do you have any kids? Where do you work? Do you live in the area? I love your shirt. Where'd you get that? Like, have questions ready to go. And if you talked to your hostess about people who are coming, you might know that Jen, who's coming, is a personal trainer. So when you say, hey, Jen, what do you do? I'm a personal trainer. No way. That's awesome. Where do you work at? How long have you been doing it? She's going to start asking you questions. And now you've just formed more of a little bit of a relationship, something that you can build a conversation from. Because what's key is that later in the social, when you're walking around the table and now people have heard your talk and they've heard you maybe speaking about Beauty Counter for a little while, now you can be a little bit more relatable as you're having that little conversation about, things like, why aren't you doing this? You're a personal trainer. You eat really well. People rely on you for health and wellness. You would be absolutely perfect. Just wanted to say that. By saying it like that, it comes off like it's a no-brainer. It's kind of silly that you wouldn't be doing this with the kind of background that you have, instead of maybe sitting around the order form going, so have you ever considered becoming a consultant? That might not seem so natural, but if you're around the table and there's somebody who's like, oh, I love this. I would be like, well, you know how you could get it all. I love it too. That's why I decided to do this, because I had to have it. So if you're talking throughout that social, that's going to help you wrap things up a lot easier when it comes time to really wrap it up. So at checkout, so say you've had those conversations, or maybe you feel like you need to say it to somebody again, it's the perfect time to reiterate the 4 ways that they can get involved. And I usually say this again like this. I don't want you to leave without knowing all of your options, because people come back to me and go, oh, I didn't know. So I want to make sure you know all of your options before you walk out of here. So here they are. I'd love to, hopefully get in front of some more people and share this message. If you'd love to grab a couple of your friends, have a little get together, that's the best way for us to share our information and for you to get free and half price products. Obviously, the other ones. You can become a member, just thank you for becoming a client. But then again, if you really love this, and this is something I like to say, if you go home and you take your lookbook and you're ear or dog earing every page, you should probably call me, because that's what I did. I loved everything, and we should talk about doing this with me. It just takes passion, and it takes loving the products and the mission to do this. And so I'd love to chat with you more if you find that this is something you're really enjoying. Another way to say something is like, hey, I don't want you to be mad at me a year from now for not telling you about our member program, or about the fact that you can become a consultant if that's what you feel like you'd like to do. So just want you to know that we have this opportunity where you could actually do what I do, share your information, teach people, empower them to make good decisions. We're always looking for people to join this mission and to lend their voice to the work that we're doing in Washington. But it's kind of maybe an easier way to just say it again, like, hey, I don't want you to not get everything from me that you can. So I want to give you this information. Remember that your social's not over the last person who walks out the door. You still have a lot of ways to build on that social. Let's think about that Facebook group that you might have going for the social. You can follow up there and let people know, hey, if you weren't able to come, I would love to be able to send you some products, or drop a face kit off for you to be able to experience our products in the comfort of your own home. Let me know if you'd like to have a one-on-one, whatever it may be. So you can kind of build on who might be still interested but couldn't be there by offering your services to them. let's see. And I think the last thing is, you know, a lot of our best, are the consultants that have the best amount of socials are people who actually book future socials with that hostess. So when you're sitting there with your hostess at the end of the night, you can say, you know, everybody's probably going to be needing reorders in about 8 weeks. Would you want me to one day just drop off the product so that people could swing by, maybe get what they already have, but maybe they're going to want something more and they can see it in person. Or, you know, holidays coming up in 6 months. Would you like to do a redo of what we just did, but really kind of feature the holiday gift giving stuff? So try to book one with your hostess again, and obviously incentivize her to do that. It'd be great to have a social booked 6 months in advance, right? So just remember, you're wrapping up this social. It doesn't end until you feel like all those orders are in, or the 4 weeks of being in the system is up. But think about all the different ways you can reach people because you have somebody helping you. They're in your corner. So use them and their network to help build your business. So with that, hopefully that helped you figure out how to run the social. And we'll talk about follow-up next.